The trail that wasn't on the map. In October 2021, 4 friends entered Alder Creek National Forest. They were Mark, Jenna, Tyler, and Noah. They planned a simple weekend camping trip. Before entering the forest, they stopped at a ranger station. Ranger Ruth Harlan issued their permit. She warned them about a trail that was not on any map. She also warned them about a mysterious whistle. If you hear whistling, walk the other way. The group laughed and continued into the forest. The first day felt peaceful and beautiful. Tall pine trees surrounded them. Cold streams crossed the trail. Fog drifted between the trunks. They set up camp before sunset. That night Tyler mocked the warning. He whistled into the darkness. For a few seconds nothing happened. Then something whistled back. The sound came from deep in the woods. No one laughed after that. Later that night Mark woke up. He heard footsteps circling the tent. A giant shadow stood outside. When he looked, it was gone. Strange footprints remained in the mud. They looked almost human. But they were far too large. By morning the footprints had vanished. The next day they found another trail. It was not marked on Noah's map. The ground was unnaturally clean. There were no leaves or branches. There were no animal tracks. It looked freshly swept. Standing beside it was a girl in a yellow jacket. She never spoke. She never waved. She only stared. When she raised her head, her face was blank. No eyes. No nose. No mouth. The group ran from the trail. But they soon realized they were lost. The same landmarks kept appearing. The forest seemed to be changing around them. That night they camped again. Near midnight the whistle returned. This time it was much closer. A frightened voice called for help from the darkness. Then it called Mark by name. No one should have known his name. Tyler left the tent to investigate. He disappeared into the trees. Minutes later his voice returned. Open up. I found the way out. The voice sounded exactly like Tyler. But something about it felt wrong. The thing outside waited until sunrise. When morning came, Tyler was gone. Only his knife remained. A warning was scratched into the dirt. It learns voices quickly. The remaining 3 kept moving. They discovered an abandoned cabin. The walls were covered with messages. They were written by missing hikers. One warning appeared everywhere. The clean trail is its mouth. That night whistles surrounded the cabin. Voices of loved ones echoed outside. Something stepped onto the porch. It spoke using Tyler's voice. Then the cabin door exploded inward. The survivors fled into the forest. They ran until they reached a hidden valley. There they found a river of bones. Animal bones drifted through black mud. Human bones drifted there too. Beyond the fog stood something enormous. At first it looked like a mountain. Then it breathed. The forest trembled with every breath. Trees were growing from its body. The entire forest seemed connected to it. Alder Creek was not hiding the creature. Alder Creek was the creature. Thousands of eyes opened around them. They appeared in trees and stones. Tyler's voice echoed from everywhere. Found you. Mark stepped toward the giant mouth. He claimed he could see the way out. Jenna begged him to stop. But Mark continued walking. When he turned around, his face was gone. Only a black slit remained. It spoke with Mark's voice. Jenna, come here. Noah dragged Jenna away. Somehow they escaped the forest. Search teams later found nothing. No cabin. No valley. No creature. The official report blamed hallucinations. Ruth believed otherwise. She asked whether they had answered the voices. Noah said no. Jenna admitted she had answered once. Ruth quietly told her it was not over. Months later Jenna disappeared. Only a phone recording remained. A whistle sounded in the darkness. Then Mark's voice spoke. I found the way out. Jenna was never seen again. Noah moved to Arizona. He wanted to stay far from forests. For almost a year nothing happened. Then he found a wet pine needle in his room. 3 knocks came from his bedroom door. A voice identical to his own answered. Don't worry. I found the way out. The walls became bark. Roots spread across the floor. Fog entered the room. When Noah opened the door, the clean trail waited outside. Mark stood there. Tyler stood there. Jenna stood there. All of them were faceless. All of them were whistling. The next morning Noah disappeared. Only a clean trail remained across the floor. A final warning was scratched into the wall. Don't follow it. Locals still speak about Alder Creek. They say the trail appears every autumn. If you hear 3 notes in the darkness, do not answer. Because in Alder Creek National Forest, there is no way out.